is Tara, the CEO of Covered, and we are here for another Uncovered Confession. So today, this Uncovered Confession is really going to deal with self-esteem. And that was a issue for me, like most women, throughout my elementary, middle, high school, college. Geez, I just got over it like a year ago, and I'm 26 now. It was a journey though. I would say elementary I wasn't really conscious of it. I just knew I was really tall and skinny and big eyes. Like, that was the brunt of it. Then I got to middle school, and I was like, man, I really don't have boyfriends. Like, why doesn't anybody like me? That was kind of my thing. When I would really say to myself, like, I've always had lots of friends and in clubs, and I know lots of people. I've always been really, really nice, but I was like, man, all of that means nothing because I don't have a boyfriend. That's how I felt. And that's what, even still to this day, I don't know why women, we have this thing like if we don't have a man, then we're just useless. We're pitiful. We're nothing. But everybody is getting all these Valentine's Day gifts. Everybody's doing all these things. And I'm like, great. So then I get to high school, and now my pretend game was so strong. Like Valentine's Day, I'm like, yeah, I'm going out with my man tonight. This is the bear he brought. Meanwhile, it's the bear my dad gave me like that morning. I know all y'all like Tara, you ain't have to do it, but I did. Like anybody that knew me in high school, like I really did not have boyfriends like that. I really, really, really didn't, and I felt like such a lame for it. So I felt like I had to make it up, and it's just like, oh, I had to grow up. I had to grow up in who I was. I had to gain that confidence. So I'm really like, man, what is wrong with me? And then, I'm gonna share. This is something that I was very always insecure about. See, this right here, my tooth. I have a baby tooth that's been in my mouth since I was a little, 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 little girl, and it never came out. So the other one grew behind it, and for a while I always smell like this. I'd be like this. Well, weird smile. And one thing I was like, honey, either you can change it or you can't change it, but you just need to be proud of who you are. You need to love yourself because I made you. I specifically designed you, Tara Renee Ville. Ever since then, I'm like, hey guys. And that is one of my biggest compliments I get now. People always say, man, you have such a beautiful smile. And I'm like, really? And for a while, in the beginning, when people would say that, I'm like, really? No, you don't see I have a tooth hanging here. And God was like, I know God's like, hold on now. Just take the compliment, Tara. Take the compliment. And so, another thing, and God is telling me to just be open and honest. This is new thing, like edges on fleek. You ain't got no edges. You won't even know. And I'm just like, oh my God, I wasn't really born with edges. Like when I look at my pictures when I was young, I'm like, Mama, full ponytail, and then like, okay, so this side it's still thin, but it's like, I'm gonna I'm being real and honest with you guys. Can I do that? Okay. So on this side, it's really, really thin. Like I really don't barely have edges. I just kept it real honest with y'all. Okay. So y'all always notice why I had the mean swoop game. Anybody that was in payback with me or middle school, my bun swoop used to be on point. Now you know what? And you know what? The enemy would always say, this was my thing, like, oh, and when I smile or do things, I'm like, I have an imperfection on each side of my face, either my tooth or no edges. Like, I would feel so sad. And then I was like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I would really have to repeat that to myself. Even my height, like I stand at 6 foot, well, I'm like 5'11, but I just say 6 feet. When I tell you my sneakers would be so, I used to wear Chucks because they were the one sneakers that didn't have any type of like inch on it. Because like Forces, Dunks, they had like, at least a little, they had some height to it. But if you all remember in high school, or even if you don't know, but people that are watching this are like, wow, that's why I was a Chuck fan. I loved Vans because they were flat, but really more so Chucks. And, one day my mom said, we passed by this man in a wheelchair. And she was like, I bet that man in the wheelchair would love to switch with you. And I'm just like, wow, like, here I am complaining about my height. And thank God I have legs. Like, you don't really think about those things. You just complaining like, oh my God, I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. And I was just and that's what the enemy just, he whispers that in your ear, whispers that in your ear. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, you're not good enough. And like now, even still to this day, when people give me so many compliments, I had to learn to really say, thank you, thank you. Or I would be like, "Really? I would always do this big dramatic. And I was like, no, he had the pull. I know he was a yanking me back, daughter. No, no, just take the compliment, say, oh, thank you. And even some of the most, women and girls that are so conceited, like, yes, looking fly, I am beautiful. It's like, okay, deep down inside, there's something there that you're like, oh, I don't like about myself. I really don't. And it's one thing you can. I'm confident. I still have days where I'm like, oh, I feel a mess, but I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident. I'm confident in who God created me to be. But there's another thing with being conceited and self-absorbed, and we'll get there. But in this uncovered confession, I just really wanted to talk about the self-esteem issues, and I wanted to get real. I've never, only my best friend or people that do my hair, I have ever shown my edges to. Oh, and well, my fiance, but my family, things like that. But it's not like I'm walking down the street with my hair pulled back in a bun, like, hey, look at me. I used to really, even recently, but right when I was, filming this, God is like, because there's somebody out there that feels that way. I mean, social media will have you just like, oh God, like I have to control my makeup and eyeliner and lip. That's about as far as it goes. Some days I do, and some days it's not even the eyes. Some days it's just lip, whatever you want to do. And I'm not getting down on anybody that does the contour and all of that. Be yourself. Be confident in who God created you to be, with or without the makeup. Makeup is used to enhance it. I love it. I love the way my lips look. Yes, yes. But even as covered ladies, I mean, you can still, the whole point is not, I never want anybody, because I can just already feel that mustering in my spirit about this whole makeup thing, because I don't care, what you do. But I just hate that as women, we divide everything. Team makeup, team no makeup, team natural, team perm, team long hair, team short hair, team weave, team no weave. Oh my goodness, girl. How about we all just be Team Jesus? How about that? How about we be team covered, okay? Keep it cute, keep it classy, keep it covered, but keep it cute, okay? I mean, I just really hate the division, and that's another thing that plays on our self-esteem. The team dark skin, team light skin, that has been a team divide since years and years, ancestors and ancestors and ancestors and ancestors and ancestors ago. Or team blonde, team brunette. Blondes are dumb, brunettes are smart. Like, why? Why must we do this? And it's usually always with the women. I don't see men like, oh, bro, you have blonde hair. You are. No, it's only us. Ladies, I want us to do better. So this uncovered confession was just really dealing with self-esteem issues and knowing who you are, loving who you are, and undress yourself. Face that issue head on. Look in the mirror, and it takes time. I'm not saying overnight I was just like, ta-da, I love myself. Like, no, it was a journey. I will tell you that. And now if you see me, I will wear heels like it's nobody's business, because I got to a point where I was like, I will not wear heels. I do not want to be the tall giraffe lurking through the crowd. And I was like, you know what? God created me. He knew that I can handle being 6 feet flat foot as a woman and still feminine. And I thank God for it, because as I started growing up, I would meet other tall young ladies, and God would just be able to use me as a platform to talk to them and say, you know what, girl, you're beautiful, girl, you're strong, and you just really have to ask God, God, what was my purpose? Why did you make me? And God would really tell you, we all have imperfections. Even the girl that you think is the most beautiful, I promise you, there's one thing and there's something deep inside that she doesn't like about herself. And that's okay. I'm not saying I'm the happiest camper with what I have going on, but I've learned to love it. I've learned to embrace it. And I'd love to thank, and I thank God for it. So, I love each and every one of you ladies out there, and I hope you have a good day. Take each steps, even if you write something on your mirror, write yourself a love note. How about that? I love that. Thank you, God. Write yourself a love note. Just write down things that you love about yourself and read it back to yourself. You'll be surprised what you find out. Love you all. Have a good day. See you next time, covered ladies.
Because we're covered and His love and His mercy. Yes, we're covered.